Welcome to the ChinaSEO.com. Today, we're cracking the code on China's social media algorithms. Now for brands and marketers. Look, understanding this isn't just a nice to have. It's pretty much the difference between booming and bombing in that market. So if you're a Western brand trying to make a splash in China, I have a question for you. There's a really good chance the rules you're playing by that totally obsolete. Seriously. The strategies that kill it on Instagram or YouTube, they don't just fall flat in China. They can actually work against you because the engine underneath is just completely different. Okay, let's get into it. You know, a lot of brands think they can just show up on Douyin, which is China's version of TikTok, and win with the same old hashtag strategy. That is a very expensive mistake. So let's start by busting that myth wide open right now. This right here, this is the fundamental shift you have to understand. Forget about the old way of matching static tags like fashion or food. The new algorithms, they basically prediction engines. Their one and only job is to figure out what you as an individual are going to watch or like or share in the next 30 seconds. So how on earth does it do that? Well, it's actually way simpler than it sounds. Think of it like this. If you and I both happen to love videos about, say, vintage watches, and we also both watch videos about classic cars, the algorithm just goes, aha, these two have similar taste. And then it starts showing me other stuff you've liked, and it shows you stuff I've liked. It creates these hyper-specific civic communities based on what we actually do, not just some keywords and just how good are they at this. Get this, over 91% accurate. That means the algorithm understands the video, the audio, the text on the screen, and your reaction to it with almost perfect clarity. It's not guessing anymore. It knows. So this incredibly powerful prediction model creates a really competitive system for every single piece of content you post in China. They have a great name for it. It's often called the horse racing mechanism. And you absolutely need to know how to win that race. Okay, here's the thing. You have to burn into your brain. Every single video you post starts a completely new race. The algorithm doesn't care about your follower count. It doesn't care about your brand name. It only cares about one thing. How does this specific video perform with a small test audience? Everybody starts from zero every single time. So how do you win this race? Just look at the weighting here. Likes, they're cheap. They barely move the needle. The algorithm rewards deep engagement. Things like high watch time, comments that spark a real conversation, and the big one, shares the ultimate signal to the algorithm that your content is genuinely valuable. And if we pop the hood and look at the actual technical architecture, it confirms everything we've been talking about. The whole system is built to support that recommendation layer right at the top. Its deep learning models are the engine room driving this incredible 85% accuracy rate and matching the right content to the right person. Now here is a massive, massive trap for established brands. If you decide to pivot your content strategy, your most loyal fans can actually become your worst enemy. Why? Because when they swipe past your new video, they're sending a powerful negative signal to the algorithm that says this isn't good, and it can kill your video's chances before it even gets a fair shot. Okay? So that's how Douyin works. But what about WeChat? Its platform, which is called Channels, it uses the same horse racing system, but it adds this absolutely game-changing social layer right on top. So on top of that same horse race, based on your interests, WeChat adds this incredibly powerful social dimension. And you have to remember, WeChat is the social graph in China. So a like isn't just a data point for an algorithm. It's a broadcast to your entire personal and professional network. And what this creates is a phenomenon they call fission, like spread. Just think about it for a second. One person likes your video. It immediately shows up in their friends' feeds. Then a couple of them like it. And now it's in their friends' feeds. It's this exponential explosion that is driven entirely by social trust. And the data just proves this works. Content that shows up in your feed because a friend shared it or liked it is way more likely to be watched all the way through. And the reason is simple, right? It comes with an implicit personal endorsement. It's a recommendation from a human you actually trust, not just a machine. So knowing all of this, How in the world are you supposed to adapt your strategy? Well, the old playbook is out. It is time for a new one. Okay, let's get down to it. Here is your new content playbook. First, go vertical. Pick one niche and own it. That's how you train the algorithm. Second, you have to master your first 5 seconds. You've got to stop the scroll period. And finally, you have to aim for at least a 75% completion rate. That is the new price of admission to the big leagues. Next up, your engagement playbook. You have to drive deep interaction, ask questions, start debates, get people talking on WeChat specifically, create content that people are genuinely proud to share, and finally, embrace a human persona. People follow people, not just topics. And a strong persona, well, that buys you the freedom to experiment. And all of this brings us to a final, really crucial point that kind of ties it all together, especially for brands who are trying to crack that massive WeChat ecosystem. Remember this number, 32% on WeChat social sharing. That person-to-person fission-like spread we just talked about accounts for nearly a third of all new user acquisition. It is a growth engine you simply cannot afford to ignore. So at the end of the day, understanding these systems isn't just some academic exercise. It's the difference between your content becoming a racehorse that wins or a ghost that just vanishes into the digital ether. Now you know the rules of the race. The choice is yours.